Disclaimers, you know, heavy content in this playthrough today. We are getting into all of the horror elements, so be mentally prepared for mentions of self-exit, self-harm, abuse, all of those terrible things. Yeah, just be prepared. If you can't handle it, that's okay. Catch me on my next stream. I'll be doing some cozy games next time. It's fine. I appreciate you anyways. Time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alright, we made it through the prologue! And now the real challenge begins. Okay, so I think I want to aim for Yuri first because she's my girl. So let's get to know Yuri a little bit. Okay, so the key is to choose words that we associate with each character, and I'm really bad at this. I really want to try. Maybe this is not a good place for my mic now that I think about it. I thought you'd be able to hear me good with it, but now I just keep hitting my head on it. So I think I might need to find a new position for that. Okay, maybe I'll move it to the side a little bit. Does that sound weird? Oh, I have so many things tied to it right now. I put lights on it. It's okay. We'll deal with that later. Okay, back to this. Okay. I really suck at this. I wanted to try at least once for each of them to get the perfect poem where you get 20 out of 20 on this. 20 out of 20 up on the corner. And it's like their perfect poem, but I'm really bad at choosing these. Anyone has any insight? Please feel free to give me some. Okay, let's see. Infinite. That feels like a Yuri word. Existence? Maybe. Sweet? Definitely not. I think sweet is supposed to be Sayori, I think, actually. And ribbon? Probably Sayori. Okay. Infinite or existence? Infinite or existence? Infinite? I feel like infinite. Yes! Okay. Infinite, good. Whirlwind, summer, blah, blah, blah. Cute? Well, I'm already not getting the 20 out of 20 on this, so... Vertigo. Yes! Ooh, spending enough time during for the music to loop back. I just got a reward for taking too long on the poem. Nice. On ending? Okay, yeah. God, I don't... Hopeless, maybe? She kind of likes the deep words from what I've seen. I don't think any of these. Sadness could work for her, but I think sadness can also work for other members. Okay, hopeless is like half and half, I think, right now. That's not good. Okay, that's definitely a Yuri word. Disarray. Yes. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, unrequited is totally Sayori. She's had an unrequited love probably her entire childhood. Love the girl. She's my second favorite, I think. Maybe Monica. I don't know. They tie. Natsuki is just last. I think it's partially the pink hair too. I'm not a big fan of pink. Okay, nope. Incapable, maybe? Or dream. Okay, dream. Yeah. Climax feels like a Yuri word. Okay, I'm getting the rhythm now, I think. Miss... God, everything. I feel like it's easier to get Sayori's for some reason. Like, I don't know, maybe Oh, I should have saved this. Dang, I should have saved that at the beginning. Now I'm gonna have to go through the whole freaking intro again. At least it gives you a skip button. But still, that's a little annoying that I forgot to save! I forgot rule number 1 in doing the full playthrough. I got too excited! Okay, vitality, intellectual, there we go, that's easy. Extraordinary. I am not doing great on this. Uncanny? Universe, maybe? For heaven's sake, Destiny? Universe. Okay. I love the little music. Captive. Uncontrollable? Okay, one more or two more. Insight, melody, essence. Yes. Graveyard? Wow, I didn't think graveyard would be her, but I guess that's kind of horror. You gotta remember, the girl loves horror and deep things. Hi again, Vasilios. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Vasilios. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. She's so considerate. Oh, come on. Like, he deserves any slack. Ugh. Thanks, Knots. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Yeah, you did not. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! It is, girl. It is. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Poor girl. Don't worry, guys. Vasilios always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. Am I having fun? Is main character dude having fun in this scenario? I'm not sure. He's having fun looking at beautiful girls, I guess. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Busy work? Like cooking and cleaning my room. Oh, he's your caretaker. I had a friend who isn't really my friend anymore who used to treat her boyfriends like that. Not a healthy relationship. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you most set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Vasilios can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she put me in. Oh, Yuri even brought something... I suddenly lost control of my mouth. Oh. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? It's actually really hard to keep reading this out loud, but it wouldn't be fun otherwise. That's how I did it with my friends when we played it, and I feel like it's just such a good way to play this game. Wait, Sayori! Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? At least he's trying to keep the peace. I gotta give credit to main character guy that he's really willing to like go all in on romance with girls. Like he's willing to like take interest in their interest, which is such a good thing in a partner. Like it has to be mutual though. And that's where he's slacking. He's not a sharer. Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? I know, right? She's freaking adorable! She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the corner of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, it seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy two of them. Totally. Coincidence. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. She's too sweet. She's too sweet for this world. Too sweet. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure you don't accidentally give anything I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships. And life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Basilios? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and recluse on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that these kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be naive for letting their one-sided morals intervene with their vile plans, their evil plans. She's so into this. I love it for her. I'm rambling, aren't I? No, keep going, love. We love hearing you talk about what you're passionate about. Please keep going. And plus, I want to know more about this plot. It's intriguing. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. That's called being passionate, and we love it! It's so cute! So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. She's so cute. She's so cute. I love her too much. Oh, I forgot it makes the noise when you go over these. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? A moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Oh, she's so nervous and so shy. I love her. She's too good for this world. Are you sure? You seem kind of nervous, girl. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just I'm not very used to, that is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if you end up distracted. I got distracted. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri really apologized. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose. She's so cute. Yuri timidly closes it. I keep saying. My tongue is not working right. I'm sorry. Yuri timidly closes her own copy? Whatever it said. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead, I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Look, we get our first little... What are these called? Cutscenes? I can't remember. We get our first image of Yuri's side view. She's so focused. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. The way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. She's looking at us. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Such cuteness. Okay. I need to take 1 second, because I'm getting cold, and I need a blanket. So, I will be right back. 1 second, everyone. Alright, I am back with my sweater and a blanket. And that feels much better. It's chilly. Okay, like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into her head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Vasilios, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Well, wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Yeah, you kind of like pointed out some bad personality traits. Be like, you're kind of like that, huh? Dude is great at this whole romancing thing. At least he's trying to get involved with her interests. As I said, I will give him credit for that. Compliments? He's failing. He's not doing great. He's trying. I think that was meant to be a compliment. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Really? I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Just when things were getting juicy, Monica. You just called her cute. It was gonna be cute. They were gonna be cute together. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. Okay. I guess that could be fun. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. Yeah, she's a little disappointed. She was having a good time. Monica, don't ruin that for her. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright! I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, and then slip it back into my bag. I'm very proud of him for not bending the corners of the page to hold his place. That is a reading crime. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah, it's literally one of the only mechanics of this game. How can I forget? Yeah? My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose paper torn from a spiral notebook, like she wrote it just 5 minutes ago. I love her. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition book. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same. Da-da, 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 da-da. Such good soundtracks. It's so catchy. Okay. Enough getting distracted by music. Who should I show my poem to first? If we are going all out on Yuri, we are going all out on Yuri. Okay? Yuri first. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Yeah, you wrote a poem just for her. She'll be so fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Actually, I think that was a compliment, girl. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? It's alright, sweetie. That's just anxiety. It's okay. Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you write a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. We love the natural genius of it all. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. In having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think most noticeably, but I think I was totally getting distracted in my head again. I was trailing off into thinking of writing about poetry and how much I dislike it. Okay, we're gonna be reading poems soon. I gotta mentally prepare myself for that. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. Yeah, some new writers do that. I think the thing that's hardest for new writers, though, is show versus tell. Because a lot of new writers, they just tell the story as is. X character does this, they do that. They think this, they blah blah blah, and it's very bland. They're just they're just telling you what the actions are instead of showing you the world. So showing is more like you're describing things with your senses, and instead of saying character thinks like this, you're just writing out their thoughts. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like painting a scene versus explaining a scene, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that well at all, actually. I should do a little writing advice blog about that. Show versus tell, and really delve in deep about it, because it is the one thing that new writers do the most. Anyway, back to Yuri's thoughts on new writers. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. I know what she's trying to say. I think this is kind of a good thing for new writers, though, because you find your own style by copying others until you figure out what works and what doesn't work for yourself. So you gotta, try on a bunch of different styles, copy other writers until you figure out your own style. I think I have a pretty firm style out of my own now. It's been called pretty poetic, which kind of annoys me, but I use a lot of simple words. I don't like using big words because I like writing young adult. I want younger audiences to understand what I'm writing, and that's where my style comes into play. There's certain writing devices I definitely have a preference for in my writing, and I know grammar good enough that I know how to break the rules now, and I love doing that deliberately occasionally too. So my style has pretty much defined itself, I think, but it takes time. It took me a long time to define my style, I think, but now I'm pretty confident in it. Now I'm really confident in it, and I love my writing, and I'm okay sharing it with people. If you want to find my writing, look up Vassi on Tapas, and you'll see my 2 novels. So please read. Please read. I worked really hard on them. Okay. Expressive this weekend. I keep getting distracted because we're talking about writing, and that's my jam. I'm gonna go on writing rants a lot during this. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different styles and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. See, that's exactly what I was saying. You gotta try all the things out for you to understand what you like and what works with your particular style. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. You all are biased. You all have your own biases, so don't pin that just on Natsuki, okay? She might not be my favorite character, but I can defend her still. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. You shouldn't, darling. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do! I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, right, she writes in cursive, sort of. Well, not exactly cursive, but hard enough for me. I can't write or read cursive, by the way. I can sort of make it out sometimes, though, so we're gonna give this a go. I think this is just enough not cursive that I can understand it. Yeah, you should learn cursive in school. Don't know why they stopped doing that. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the last of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the pleasant but living in the past. That says present. The light flickers. I flicker back. Alright, shall we delve into this a little bit? Because, frankly, I was mostly just focused on sounding cool when I read it the first time, and I still messed it up. Tendril of the hair, blah blah blah. Ghost under the light. She's a ghost. I think that's indicative of her, I don't know, probably depression or something. I can't remember what her thing fully was. It must be this one. Last remaining streetlights have withstood the test of time. She's feeling lonely. Last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue hue of the future. God, I'm trying to understand what this means. Is like the other light, like another lonely soul? Is that supposed to be me? Where we're flickering at each other? And we're kind of the only two lights left in the world. It's kind of romantic to read it that way. I'm really bad at poetry though, so I could be getting this like completely wrong. Cause like, I remember in school I learned like in poetry there's usually like a surface level like theme and meaning, and then there's like the deep level, and I'm really, really bad at getting the deep level. I can usually get the surface level shit, but the deep level stuff, not as good with that. Not as good with that at all. But it's alright. It's enough meaning for me. I think it's cute. It's kind of romantic, the way I'm reading it anyways, and that's what we're gonna go with because I'm the one reading it. Alright, yeah, I think we're done with this. We're done with the ghost under the lights. Oh. She's so shy. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. No, girl, your handwriting is gorgeous. I'm just too stupid to be able to read it. That's a me problem. That is a big time me problem. I really should have learned how to write better in school. I don't know why. I think I was like among the first in my generation to not learn cursive, which is really interesting. Like I remember learning it like a little bit in like, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd grade when I was like really little, and literally the only thing we did was trace cursive letters, and we did like 1 page for each letter, and then we learned how to write our name, and that was literally it. That was my only lesson in cursive, and then we just stopped. Which is really a shame, because now I run into problems like this, like mistaking present for pleasant because I don't know cursive, and I'm probably not going to teach it to myself at this point. To be real, it's not a priority. It's just a shame when it happens like this. So your handwriting's fine, darling. You're fine. It's beautiful, actually. My handwriting is garbage, and it shows I never learned cursive because my handwriting is atrocious. Which is why I usually type when I write. I rarely use notebooks. Well, sometimes I use gaming notebooks to keep track of where I'm at. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. It's just because I'm stupid, honey. We've been over this. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb at poetry and I'm dumb at handwriting. It's my weaknesses. Well, I just don't read script very often. Script. God, our main character is even dumber. That wasn't a script, it was a freaking poem. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. It is. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. No, not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. That makes sense. I gotta blow my nose real quick. I don't know why, but speaking so much makes me, like, have to blow my nose. Is that normal? Sorry you all had to hear me blowing my nose there. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. You're good, girl. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Vasilios. Really? I must have totally missed the point. At least I got that much. It wasn't about a ghost. It was about her being lonely and me being another light. Maybe. As I said, the meaning I understood was more than a ghost. I'm not too sure on, like, what the flickering symbolizes, like lights going out and stuff. I don't think it symbolizes ending herself, which is the gentle way to say that, I think, these days. I don't think that's what that symbolized in hers, anyways. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In that case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Yeah, but what does the flickering mean? Can you explain it to me, Yuri? Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Okay, I didn't get that at all. I did not get that at all. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. Yeah. You know what? I should have known she went with a darker theme than, like, romancy. I wanted it to be romancy. Oh, hello! This is my first stream. Thank you! I'm enjoying it. I've gotten pretty far in the game so far. I'm doing Yuri first in this. She's my girl. I love her. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, I definitely hadn't thought that's how her poem went. I'm really, really bad at poetry. That's impressive. Yeah, it is kind of impressive when people are actually good at poetry and they could do it well. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played this game too. I played it... The first time I played it was like several years ago. I played it with friends, similarly to this, where like I was reading it out loud and we'd take turns. And I did the same thing like a year or two ago with a friend. I think that was the last time I played it. It's such a good game though. And this is my first time doing Doki Doki Plus, so I can't wait to see the added content once I finish the main story. Oh, Yuri, she's so cute. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. Okay, thanks for lurking. I hope you enjoy me voicing all of the characters. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Vasilios. Ah, me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Usually I do Sayori, because Sayori is our childhood friend. She's best girl. This is a good poem, Vasilios. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. I really wish they had, like, examples of the poem's rewrite that I could read, because I'm really curious what nonsense came from choosing random words. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? He's so rude to her. I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. She has such low expectations of us. And you know what, that's kind of fair. I still think this main character dude is a wall of a man. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Like, obviously, girl, I'm here. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Vasilios. Deep down, you're not selfish at all. You know? Trying new things like this for other people? That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. She only sees the good in us, when we're really not that good of a person. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. See, not a good person. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Me too, girl. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. I love the last line of her poem so much. Just the little, I want breakfast. I think I like Sayori's poems the most in this because they're really simple and I can understand them. Like, I understand the deeper meaning behind this because I played this game before. And I don't know if I want to spoil it. If anybody hasn't played, it's a secret, but I trust you. She's very obviously talking about main character waking her up in the morning on most days of the week. And it being the only reason she gets out of bed because she's kind of depressed. I just love the I want breakfast. It's such a great last line. Sayori! This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. Don't be mean, dude. He's so mean to Sayori. It's like ever since the very beginning, like the first line of this game is that he finds Sayori annoying. Even though she's literally his only friend. Main character dude is just terrible. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It's not. It's a good poem. I like her poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. It still sounds like an insult, dude. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. That last line is a great line. Don't insult her. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school. I really want some eggs and toast. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun! Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. She's so sweet. They're all so sweet. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? We're gonna save Monica for last. She's gonna hate it. Vasilios, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. She's so harsh. Fair enough. That's not how you give a good critique, people.
if you're critiquing someone's work, you sandwich the bad stuff that you don't like in between with good stuff. You don't just complain. I've had people do that to my writing before. It's not a fun experience. And it's really annoying when you specifically ask them not to do that. I'm trailing off. Anyways, well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I also kind of like the simplicity in hers. This seems like the type of poem I would write if I actually liked poetry, because frankly I don't like the super complicated ones, and I love the little simplicity of just people can try, and that's about it. It's sweet. Sweet and deep at the same time. That's not ski for you. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even try, I'm dancing over my tongue again. So people I cannot say this freaking sentence. So people don't even take my writing seriously. There. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Yeah, Natsuki and I have the same writing style. I write super simple too, and I don't use complicated words. I just write it as is, in my head, and make things look pretty in the scenery. And yeah. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up a rhythm at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. See, this is what I mean by once you understand the rules of writing and grammar and everything, you can break them, and it's just super cool when you know the rules of grammar and writing enough that you can break it and it still makes sense, and it just deepens the meaning. She's a very skilled writer. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Well, there's only one person to show it to next. Hi, Vasilios. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Yep, she's always listening, everyone. Always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Vasilios. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Vasilios. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked out anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? That was the goal. Yes, she does. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances, can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. Yeah, she gives off the vibe as somebody who's been writing in her little notebook for years, and this is the first time she's ever shared anything, and she's super duper embarrassed. But she's been writing poetry to herself for years and years now. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Yeah, Vasilios is just a baby writer still. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable about doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See? The direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor. An angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No. I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I was looking out. Oh wait, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. It's not that subtle, is it? She's not that subtle. I wonder who he is. He on the other side, looking in. It's so cool when games break the fourth wall like this. I love it. We're peeking into the game world. So, what do you think? I think, as a character in this game, that poem is a little crazy, isn't it? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. Honestly, that's how I love to write, just in general, like my novel writing, it's very specific timing for the sentences. Like if I read a paragraph in my novel out loud, it will sound like that poem with like the beats. And that's because I always read things out loud when I'm editing them. And I really like going with like the sound of how things sound coming out loud, because that was actually an exercise I learned while I was in school for writing, and apparently that's a thing writers do, where they go out and like go on a stage and like read their work out loud. I haven't had to do it since college, but hey. I know how. And I know how to make my writing sound good out loud and in the head. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. Epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. I forgot she does this! Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on one specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Dude, I've done that so many times. Usually it's like a really specific word too. Like I know there's a perfect word for this sentence, and I just cannot for the life of me think of it. Like I can think of the first letter and it bugs me until I remember it, and I just spend like 15 minutes trying to remember one single word. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Yes, you should do that. You should not do what I do and spend 15 minutes on a single word. You should just get something written down. I think that is like... I think I mentioned it before. That's like one of the... No, I said something else before. It's one of the biggest issues new writers have, where they're too caught up in their head about making it perfect that they don't actually write. A lot of people get stuck on like the world building phase and just never move beyond it. And you just gotta start writing. Even if you're just writing like the first chapter before you're going back to plan more, I think it helps a lot just to start writing anything down. Another way to think about this is if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. Never had that problem, mostly because I usually type things, because my handwriting is genuinely so bad that sometimes I can't read it. Like, I have multiple letters that look exactly the same whenever I write it out. So I prefer typing so I could read my own read it, since I can't read my own handwriting. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening! Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. Yeah, you're all just high school students. Nobody's really that good. You're still baby writers, it's okay. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? I'm pretty sure that was a thought bubble, so maybe Yuri can just read minds. Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Vasilios did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Vasilios liked my poem too, you know. Even he told me he was impressed by it. I love it how they're using us as, like, a basis for their confidence in their writing. Like, our liking it is peak talent. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I mean. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Vasilios appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. I love them digging at each other. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Vasilios started showing up. Oh, she got her. Natsuki? Natsuki? That's it's a little harsh. This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting you guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Vasilios! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing is more effective, then I wouldn't have happened in the first... Then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? I mean, the meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. I honestly can't help but personally agree with Natsuki a little bit, but that's just my bias of disliking poetry so much. Help me explain that to her, Vasilios. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary, limiting yourself, it's a waste. You understand that, right, Vasilios? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be Of course that's going to be Yuri, because we're going for Yuri right now. Oh shit, I did the wrong one! No! Okay, I'll have to do it the other way around the next time. Oh, I'm so sad I clicked Natsuki. I'm so sorry, Yuri! I'm so sorry, my girl! But you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place, girl. Express yourself with words, not rage. Are you kidding? That's what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? I don't know if the dialogue is actually much different if you choose Yuri or Natsuki. I think maybe only the beginning is. Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. Did I take Yuri's side? Maybe I did click Yuri. Yay! She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. Aw, she's such a kiddo throwing a tantrum right now. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Vasilios. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. She's so embarrassed. Oh, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How do you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Vasilius, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Yeah, hopefully we can write a better Yuri poem. I really want to try and get the 20 out of 20 for Yuri. We'll see. I'm really bad at choosing the words, so we'll see how that works. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Vasilios, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I've spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Where were we? Oh yes, we were walking home on day 2 with Sayori. Our bestie. About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No! Sounds totally convincing, Sayori. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I mean, they're your friends after all, Sayori. Like, do they fight all the time like that? That seemed kind of aggressive. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Vasilios, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what's making me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on that the kind of situation I'm in. Yeah, they were clearly fighting over our main character guy. Like, they might as well have been pulling him by the arm. But no, that's Sayori's job. She's the one that does the arm pulling in this. She's a part of the problem. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Oh, buddy, are you looking for more? You want more than friend? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Main character dude, you're so terrible. She's a person. Treat her like a person. Not as an annoying pet you can talk to. She does respond, you know? Okay, see? That's a response. Yeah, let's do this.